Good afternoon. How can I help you?
Yes, do you guys have space for a mom and 3 kids?
Okay, I'm going to get some information. What's the last 4 of your social?
Domestic violence is a heinous crime. It grows every day. Kansas City only has 469 beds for a population of 2.5 million. Let's say the 2.5 million is 50-50. That means there's 1.25 women. There is a woman abused, 1 in 4, national average. So you can add up how many women are being abused just in our local community.
Newhouse was founded in 1971 by a group of Methodist and Presbyterian women. They saw a need in the community and they worked to provide resources for women who were suffering domestic abuse with their children. We started in a very small home providing safe shelter and services to women and children and moved to a little bit larger home, and then in 1999 moved into the current dormitory style facility where we have capacity for 88 women and children to be present, have safe shelter and services.
They're calling in the middle of the night scared, not knowing where they're going to go, what they're going to do. They're being brought into shelter by the police, calling a hotline, not knowing who's going to be on the other end of that hotline. We have wonderful advocates that are staffed here 24 hours a day. You're always going to talk to a compassionate person. They're provided with crisis counseling, a room, clean linens, toiletries, safety, food, whatever they need, their basic needs at that point. During the day, they're provided with case management, therapy, child care, job readiness trainings, group nutrition classes. We try to provide them with as many services as possible while they're here. We have an on-site school. We hook them up with as many resources as possible so when they leave here, they can really make that step towards just becoming independent.
After my brother was born, my mother left that relationship and married another gentleman who was an alcoholic. And unfortunately, that relationship was full of violence also. So there's many years of violence and fear and terror. So after years of that, my mother finally got the strength to leave that relationship. And she actually went to a domestic violence shelter at Newhouse. So my brother, sister, and I, and my mother stayed at Newhouse for some time. How it's helped me is that it showed me, by helping my mother, it helped me to break the cycle of domestic violence in our own lives, and also setting me up for success to where I did graduate from high school. My brother and my sister also graduated from high school. And I went on to college and completed my bachelor's degree in social work.
Been beaten pretty bad, and about a month before, and then I had another episode, and I had talked to my pastor and had told them that, we got to do something about that. I got to really get out of here. So when I talked to my friend that night I had a situation where I felt really, really, really depressed and really down, and I went to the hospital that night, and the hospital told me that they knew some places I could go, which was like where my friend had said. And so that night, I wasn't able to get in right away. So I went with my aunt for a couple of days. And then when Newhouse had a bed, then I came here. I got here like about 4 o'clock in the morning, and the staff, was very caring and very open to help me. And they told me, just go to bed and relax tonight, and we'll try to get some stuff together tomorrow. So they gave me, my linen, and I was very hurt and very distraught. I didn't know what my next step was, and the staff was very caring. They, gave me a bed and a nice place to sleep, and I didn't know what else I was going to do.
Because domestic violence is not a man problem. It's not a woman problem. It's a community problem. So that could be your sister, your mother, your daughter, your friend. And so if that happens, you definitely want our doors to be open and our services to be available. And so it's important to give to the community resource that you may need someday.
Our budget is about 50% government funded and 50% private funded. And the funding that comes to us from our community and the generosity of our community partners helps us to break that cycle.
Newhouse is like that interruption. Like they're going down a negative path, and then Newhouse is that interruption that projects them to a positive path, to where they are getting the services to reshape their behavior so they become a good citizen in the community.
The success of the women and children mean the success of Newhouse, and that means the success for our community and having impact on the future of our community. Our community partners, our donors, our volunteers are what make it possible for us to provide the safe shelter and services that the women and children in our community so desperately need. Continued support will allow us to continue to have that positive impact on those families, saving lives, providing better quality of life, and improving the future of our community.